So today we're exploring a question that honestly really gets to the heart of things. Am I really living or am I just existing?
hmm
We're diving into this powerful, pretty direct guide called Forge Your Future, a guide to unstoppable living.
Yeah, and it's definitely not about like gentle nudges.
No, not at all. It's more like holding up a mirror,
Oh, no.
challenging you to unlock what you're really capable of.
Exactly. And our mission here really is to pull out the absolute core insights, the actionable stuff from this very potent material.
Right.
We want to give you a clear path, maybe a bit unvarnished, to becoming what the source calls unstoppable.
Okay, so let's unpack where this source even begins because, wow, it hits hard right from the start. Two big ideas: the urgency of now and this absolute call for personal responsibility.
That's right.
It kicks off with this stark truth in a section called Time is Your Life, Don't Kill It. And the message is just, well, it's powerful. You are not killing time. Time is killing you.
That lands heavily, doesn't it?
It does. Think about it like endless scrolling, hitting snooze again and again, always saying, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, the little delays.
Exactly. And the source says you're not just wasting moments, you're actively like destroying pieces of your life, your actual finite life.
And what's really unsettling there, I think, is that hidden cost. We usually think of wasted time as, kind of passive.
Right.
But this source just flips that completely. It insists that while we're busy making excuses, life is just marching on relentlessly.
Yeah, you're getting older, your energy, maybe it decreases a bit over time naturally.
And those dreams you have, they're just sort of waiting, fading a little. The insight is that time isn't just a resource like money or something. It's the actual currency of our being, non-renewable.
It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? Like, what did I actually do yesterday? Anything that moved the needle.
Exactly. Are you still waiting for that someday? That just never seems to arrive.
And the solutions it offers seem simple, almost deceptively so.
They do.
Start valuing your hours like they're gold. It suggests, writing a daily plan, focusing on just one thing that genuinely pushes you forward.
And the big one.
Yeah. Cutting out an hour of social media every day.
Yeah.
Using that time to read or learn or just grow.
Because if you don't respect time, it argues, becomes your biggest enemy, fast.
And that sense of urgency, it gets amplified. The next point is, the clock is ticking, and it doesn't care if you're not ready.
Oof, blunt.
Totally blunt. A reminder that time isn't going to wait for you to feel motivated or less confused or whatever.
It just ends, and the worst pain, it warns, is regret.
Right. It strips away all the excuses, says things like, you're not too young, you're not too old, you're not too busy.
Just making excuses, yeah.
It forces this really uncomfortable question on you. When are you finally going to stop watching other people win and start actually creating your own life?
That's such a powerful question. And it leads perfectly into the next big idea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why not now?
Yes. It directly challenges that habit we all have, delaying things, pushing them off. Next week, next month, next year.
We've all done it.
Oh, absolutely. But the source argues, look, nothing is going to change between now and then. Motivation won't just magically appear out of thin air.
Life won't suddenly get easier. Fear won't vanish.
Exactly. In fact, it says every second you wait, your dreams actually fade. Just a little bit more. They lose their sharpness.
So the solution is?
Take one small step right now. Because, and this is key, if you can't start now, you probably won't start ever.
Wow. It's about building that bias for immediate action then.
Totally. Just break the inertia.
Okay, so if time is this precious, urgent thing and we need to act now, what's really holding us back?
Yes. This is where the source pivots. Hard. towards radical personal responsibility.
To stop blaming and start building part.
Exactly. It just hammers home this idea, your life, it's your responsibility, full stop.
Not your parents, not your friends, not your bosses.
Yeah. Not the government, not anything external. It lists all the common complaints, Didn't go to a good school, family doesn't support me, no money, no time, no talent.
All valid feelings, perhaps, but
it dismisses them as blockers. Just excuses, excuses, excuses.
yeah. It really draws a line in the sand there
Yeah.
between stagnation and actually thriving.
It does. It contrasts that blame mentality with the person who wins in life. The one who says, I don't care what I didn't get, I'll create something from nothing.
And the example it uses is quite something.
Oprah Winfrey, yeah. Born into poverty, abused as a child. I mean, unimaginable hardship.
But she didn't stay there. Didn't just sit and cry or blame circumstances.
No. She built an empire, became a billionaire, a global figure.
So the path it suggests is
Yeah.
accept your story, yes, understand it, but refuse point blank to be a victim of it.
Right. Write down your problems. Then for each one, write down one solution. Just one.
And then the crucial part.
Take action, no matter how small it feels. It's about realizing you're not powerless at all. You just haven't fully tapped into the power you already have.
Okay, this is fascinating. So, moving from responsibility, the source then gets into these invisible barriers we put up for ourselves.
Exactly. Here's where it gets really interesting. It highlights this trap we all fall into, calling it, your comfort zone is a trap. Escape it now.
We all know that zone, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Checking the phone, scrolling, watching videos, easy routines. It feels, relaxing, safe.
Comfortable.
But the source reveals this hidden danger, almost insidious. It says, you are dying slowly from the inside.
Wow. Strong words.
Right. It's not just stagnation. It's like this gradual wearing away of your potential, your spirit, your ability to feel real joy and growth.
That's a powerful metaphor. And it confronts the feels that keep us there, right? Fear of mistakes, failure.
Fear of embarrassment, people laughing, all of it.
Yeah. And the advice is, well, it's not gentle.
Not at all. Let them laugh, let them doubt you, but you keep moving. That's the message.
It uses that analogy of a seed, too.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, if it stays safe underground, it never becomes a tree. It has to break through, face the sun, the wind.
To become strong, powerful.
So the solution is practical. Do something uncomfortable every single day.
Like what?
Speak that language you're learning, even if you're scared. Join that class. Apply for that stretch job. Post that video you made. The mandate is clear. Fail proudly, fail loudly, but fail forward. Because nothing truly great ever came from playing it safe all the time.
That ties in perfectly with the next point about self-sabotage, doesn't it? I'll do it later is the biggest lie you're telling yourself.
Oh, absolutely. That phrase, the source calls it the voice of laziness, the voice of fear.
The voice of your weaker self.
Yeah.
Trying to keep you small.
Yeah. And it clarifies what later really means deep down. It means, I don't want to do it at all.
Ouch. That's direct.
It is. And it contrasts the winners, the ones who act now, right now, this second, even if they're not ready, with those left regretting.
It gives that example, like if you wanted to start a YouTube channel 2 years ago and kept saying later.
Someone else is probably doing it now. Living your dream.
So the fix is immediate.
Super immediate. Set a timer. 10 minutes. Start now. Because one action now is better than 100 perfect plans for later. It's about breaking that procrastination spell. Just one small action.
And this leads to a really interesting point about our own minds, doesn't it? How they can trap us. The idea to stop thinking, start doing.
Yes. It describes the mind as like your best friend and your worst enemy, often becoming a cage because we overthink everything.
We've all been there, stuck in analysis paralysis.
Totally. Thinking about a business idea for months, maybe years, planning workout routines meticulously, but never actually going to the gym.
Imagining every possible way things could go wrong before even starting.
Right. It drains your energy before you even begin.
Source uses that swimming example, which is quite vivid.
Oh, yeah, the person who wants to learn, reads books, watches videos, buys all the gear, talks to swimmers.
But never actually jumps in the water.
Exactly. Will they learn? The source is blunt. No.
So the solution is to flip the ratio.
Pretty much. Think for 10 minutes, then act for the next 10 hours. The goal is momentum. Let action become the habit.
Shut down the overthinking mind and just move.
Let your hands move, let your legs move, let your life move, because real progress, it argues, rarely comes from just thinking about it. It comes from doing.
Okay, this is all very clear. Action, responsibility, urgency. But if the path is so clear, why is it still so hard for so many of us?
Ah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
The source suggests the biggest battle. It's internal.
Yes, it lays this out with the idea of you versus you. It says your biggest enemy isn't out there. It's not other people or circumstances.
It's inside. That part of you telling you to quit.
That little voice whispering, I'm tired, or it's okay to just be average.
That, it says, is the real battle. The lazy you versus the ambitious you. The scared you versus the brave you.
And it uses that classic powerful analogy, the two wolves inside you.
Right. One is lazy, negative, full of doubt. The other is strong, confident, hungry.
And the crucial question it asks is, do you know which one gets stronger?
The one you feed.
Exactly. So the solution is conscious effort. Starve the lazy habits. Track your daily choices. Did this move me forward?
Celebrate the small wins, too. Acknowledge progress.
Because slowly, consistently, your actual identity starts to shift.
And this internal fight extends to self-control, too, right? The importance of work on your willpower.
Yes, and this is critical. It warns that if your willpower isn't trained, actively worked on,
your feelings will run your life. And the source is very clear. Feelings are liars.
That's a bold statement.
It is, but it highlights a key distinction. Success isn't really built on motivation. That comes and goes.
Right, it's unreliable.
Exactly. The people who succeed, it says, are the disciplined ones. The ones who show up even when they're tired, broke, heartbroken, scared, defeated.
They just do it anyway.
Willpower is like a muscle. You train it, it gets stronger. You neglect it, it gets weaker.
It gives that simple example, like stopping phone use after 10 p.m. You might fail at first.
But you keep trying. You keep exercising that muscle.
The advice is to start small. Pick one uncomfortable thing. Commit to doing it. Build that daily discipline.
And talk to yourself like a leader, not a victim.
Yeah, that line, I don't break promises to myself, that's powerful.
And then there's that really profound, almost raw idea about pain.
Ah, yes. Your pain is your power, only if you stop hiding it.
This part acknowledges that, we all carry stuff. Hidden pain, betrayal, failure, rejection, loneliness, things we might never tell anyone.
Things we bury deep.
Right. And it presents this stark choice that pain can destroy you.
Or it can build you into something much stronger.
The strongest people, it says, use it as fuel.
It encourages this radical reframing of suffering. Like, that suffering made me tougher. That heartbreak taught me self-respect. That failure taught me how to grow.
It's incredibly empowering. The message is, you're not broken, you're just being rebuilt into something powerful.
Yeah. And that closing thought, the darkest nights produce the brightest stars. That really sticks with you.
It really does.
Okay, so we're confronting the inner battles. What does this mean for dealing with the outside world? and how we see ourselves in it.
Right, the external influences. The source tackles this head on, starting with something huge. Comparison is killing you.
Simple. Devastatingly true.
It states it so clearly. If you keep comparing yourself to others, you will never be happy. Never.
And it unpacks why. It's because we fall for this illusion, right? You are comparing your behind the scenes with their highlight reel.
Exactly. You see their polished 15 seconds of success. You don't see their struggles, their pain, their loneliness, their failures.
You don't see the nights they cried or the times they fell flat on their face.
It's a fundamental mismatch. The source uses that lovely analogy.
The sunflower and the rose.
Yeah. If they start comparing heights and colors, they both forget how beautiful they actually are in their own way.
So the solution is practical again.
Very. Unfollow people who consistently make you feel inadequate. Focus on your journey. Track your growth from last month.
And consciously replace comparison with inspiration. Learn from others. Don't just envy them.
The core insight being, you weren't born to be like them. You were born to be a better version of yourself.
Which leads directly to the next point about advice, doesn't it?
Don't take advice from those who haven't done it.
This is crucial. Finding qualified advice, not just drowning in all the noise online, or from people offering opinions with no pain.
Right. People who haven't walked the path.
It gives us great examples. You wouldn't ask someone living under a leaky roof how to build a solid house.
Or ask your broke friend for financial advice. It seems obvious, but we do it.
We do, in the classic uncle scenario, the uncle who says, don't start a business, too risky.
When he's worked the same 9 to 5 his whole life. Nothing wrong with that, but his experience doesn't match your ambition.
So the filter is simple. Ask yourself, has this person achieved what I want to achieve?
If yes, listen carefully. If no,
Politely move on. Protect your vision. Because one bad piece of advice, it warns, can derail you for years.
okay, so if we're filtering out external noise, bad advice, comparison,
Yeah.
we start to realize the ultimate decision, the ultimate validation has to come from inside.
Yes. Which leads to this really empowering idea this source calls pick yourself.
The cold truth it starts with is, well, cold. This world won't pick you. They won't clap for you until it's too late.
Oof, yeah, it's bracing. But it's a call to action. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone else to say you're good enough.
Because they might never say it.
Exactly. It uses J.K. Rowling again. Rejected 12 times. What if she'd waited for someone else to validate Harry Potter?
We'd never have it. She picked herself, and then the world followed.
So the solution is write your own name on the opportunity, start the channel, write the book, launch the thing.
The mantra is liberating. I don't need anyone to pick me. I pick myself every single day.
Because that kind of self-belief, the world eventually has to notice. It can't ignore it.
And maybe the most liberating lesson here, paradoxically, is the harshest one. Nobody cares, and that's your greatest power.
Huh. Yeah, that sounds rough at first.
It's delivered with total honesty. Nobody cares about your problems. Nobody's coming to save you. People are just too wrapped up in their own lives, their own battles.
Sounds depressing, but then comes the twist.
The power in that truth.
Yeah.
If nobody cares, then you are free to do whatever the hell you want.
Right, you're free to fail, try again, look stupid, fall down, get back up, without worrying about judgment.
Because who's judging? They're busy.
You only need one thing.
Yeah.
Yourself. So the advice is use that pain, that loneliness, not as a weight, but as fuel.
Build your life like nobody's watching, because guess what? They're not. It's the ultimate freedom to just be authentic and grow.
Okay, so this brings us right to the blueprint. How do you actually build this unstoppable life? It starts with a core philosophy. No risk, no story.
Very clear message. You don't get greatness without risk. Simple as that.
A life played safe, it warns, just becomes quiet, silent, predictable, safe, and empty.
Nobody remembers how safe you played it. There's no legend in caution.
It gives that example again, like being scared to speak a new language. What if just one moment of courage
Brings 10 years of reward.
Yeah. So the solution, take one risk today, make the call, apply, post, build, send the message, whatever it is.
Ask what's the worst that could happen. But then, crucially,
Immediately pivot to, but what if it actually works?
because without risk, there is no adventure, no fire, no growth, no story. It's a direct challenge. Dare to live, don't just exist.
And this radical thinking just keeps going with the next idea. If you don't like your life, create a new version.
This is huge. You're the creator. You're not a tree stuck in one place.
It puts forward this bold, almost provocative idea. If the life you're living feels fake, then burn it to the ground and start again.
Obviously not literally burning things.
No, metaphorically, radical self-reinvention.
It empowers you. Change your hair, habits, friends, environment. Most importantly, your thinking.
Stop copying. Start building your version of a life that feels authentic and fulfilling.
It's that reminder. You are not a victim. You are an artist. Life is your canvas.
So create your new version. Make it powerful. Make it beautiful. Make it yours. Unforgettable.
And building that new version requires intense focus, right?
Yeah.
Which brings us back to
Starve your distractions. Feed your focus. Yes, it cleverly uses that two wolves metaphor again. Distraction versus focus.
and the winner is always the one you feed more.
It lists the common distractions we know them well. Scrolling for hours, gossip, overthinking, binge watching.
Things that drain us.
Exactly.
Right.
They don't just waste time, the source argues. They make your dreams weaker, your brain lazier, your motivation just evaporates.
So the solution has to be decisive.
Absolutely. Starve those distractions. Turn off the phone. Cut out toxic people. Set clear boundaries.
Yep.
Then consciously sit down and feed your focus. Read, work, learn, build, fail, try again. Whatever fuels your goal.
Focus is trained. Like a muscle.
And the source makes this bold promise. Commit to 365 days of pure effort, and your life will look nothing like it does today.
That level of intense focus and self-reliance really leads into the final, maybe the most unvarnished lesson of all.
Yeah, this one is raw. Life doesn't owe you anything, so fight for everything.
It delivers this in the rawest, harshest way possible. The world. It only rewards your performance. Period.
No magic fairy, no genie in a bottle, no perfect timing is going to show up.
Nope. It's all on you.
The call to inner strength here is profound. That hunger, that fire, that rage to rise, it has to come from inside.
It acknowledges life's unfairness. Privilege exists. Some start ahead, but then it asks that piercing question.
Are you just going to sit there and complain, or are you going to stand up and say, I don't care how hard it gets, I will make it happen?
It declares straight up, this life is not a gift, it's a battlefield.
And the mantra it offers is just pure defiance. Life doesn't owe me a damn thing, but I will still take everything I deserve.
Earn your crown. With blood, sweat, and obsession. Wow.
Yeah. Intense. And finally, there's this point that just perfectly wraps everything up, the culmination of the whole journey. Be that guy.
Or that person, yeah.
Right. Be the person who does what others don't, who inspires without saying a word.
The disciplined one. Wakes early while others sleep. Studies while others are distracted.
Speaks when others are scared. Believes when others laugh. Keeps going when everyone else quits.
And the daily practice is simple, but transformative.
Every morning just ask, what would a disciplined person do today? And then
Do that thing.
just do that. The ultimate message. Don't tell people your plans. Show them results. Be the person whose actions speak so loudly. People talk about you for years because you dare to change everything.
So wrapping up this deep dive into Forge Your Future,
Yeah.
it's clear this source isn't just about like a quick motivational fix.
At all. It's a profound, really unwavering call to action, a demand for radical personal responsibility.
And an unshakable belief in your own power to create a life that's truly lived, not just existed through.
It's about seeing the truth, sometimes the uncomfortable truth, and then, with absolute conviction, acting on it.
And as you, the listener, reflect on all this, maybe remember those powerful closing words from the source itself. Despite the suffering, the pain, the times you feel like a failure, remember, everything will be okay. There is always, always a light at the end of the tunnel. It reminds you, you are not finished yet. There's more to your story, more to your future, more inside you than you've ever imagined.
It really challenges how you see yourself.
Totally. It says boldly, you think you're weak, you're not. You think you're behind, you're just warming up. You think it's too late, it's not.
You are powerful beyond your imagination, a storm waiting to rise.
So the thought we want to leave you with is this. What incredible power is actually lying dormant inside you right now, untapped?
And what truly transformative future might unfold when you finally decide to unleash it.